Hey everyone, welcome to Play Hooky with me. My name is Roz, and in this video I'm going to be sharing a quick and easy formula for calculating the weight and length of your yarn. You can use this information in a variety of ways. It comes in really handy when you're trying to figure out if you have enough yarn left over to finish a project, or if you have a pattern that you want to work on and you want to know if the stash that you already have on hand is enough. To do this calculation, you're going to need three things. First, the skein or remnant that you want to measure. This can also be a finished piece. You can absolutely measure this to get the information that you need. Second, you'll need the information regarding the yarn in question. A yarn label works perfectly for this because it provides the weight and the length of a complete full skein. If you don't have the yarn label on hand, that's okay. You can most likely find it online. Some of you may be wondering if you can do this with a mystery yarn without a yarn label or that information, and yes, you can. You absolutely can, and I'm going to be showing you how to do that. And finally, you need a scale, and a kitchen scale works perfectly for this, a postal scale as well, but a kitchen scale is super easy to find and inexpensive. So on the left-hand side here, I have the information for a full or complete skein or ball of yarn. This is where we're going to keep the yarn label information. We're going to put the weight at the top and then the length at the bottom. And then over here on the right, we're going to put it in the same order, weight on the top. We're going to measure our partial skein or our project. Like I said, you can use the project that you're working on if you want to measure that as well. So we'll put the weight at the top here, and then we're ready to do the math to figure out the yardage of it. We're going to be doing two actions. We're going to be multiplying and then dividing. So I like to imagine it like the letter X or working in a crisscross. We're first going to multiply, and we're going to start from the top number on the right, moving down to the bottom left. Once we've reached that answer, we're going to move up to continue on with our cross and take that number and divide it to finish our cross with the answer. Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm just going to use the yarn that I have left over from a project I did last week. Just go ahead and grab your yarn label. Now we're going to start looking for the information that we need. I prefer to work with grams and yards, but you can certainly use meters and ounces if you want. Just remember to keep the weight on top and the length on the bottom. So the weight for a complete skein for mine is 100 grams. The yardage is 328. Let's go ahead and weigh the remnant, 45. So in the second column here with the weight on top, it's 45. So remember, we're working on a crisscross or an X. We're going to first multiply and then divide. 45 times 328 is 14,760. Okay, moving up. We see the number is 100. That's what we're going to divide with. So 14,760 divided by 100 equals 147.6. So now we know that this little skein here has 147 yards. So essentially what we're trying to figure out here is how many grams per yard do we have, or whatever measurement you like. If you want to measure with meters, same thing. We're just trying to figure out the ratio from the weight of it to the length of it. When we do this, we're going to be doing an X again, but we're going to be starting in the top left, going down, multiplying those numbers, moving up and dividing with the number on the top right to reach our answer. So to do that, we're going to be taking our remnant and treating it as if it is the full or complete skein. What you're going to do next is you're going to pull out about 10 to 20 yards of yarn to measure. Okay, so I went ahead off camera and I pulled off 10 yards, and I just added a little stitch marker there. Don't cut your yarn, and just take this now and weigh it. Side. So let's go ahead and plug that in. We're doing the same thing as before, but over here is our partial. So we have 3 grams for the weight and 10 yards for the length. Now go ahead and weigh everything together. The complete skein with everything included is 45 grams. And we don't know the yardage yet. And I'm doing this with one that we've already worked on so we can compare the length to see if it's accurate. So we are doing the X again. We're going to multiply and divide just like we did before, but we're just doing it on the reverse side. This time we're going to start our X from left to right to multiply, and then we're going to work up and divide to reach our answer. So we're going to do 45 times 10. Okay, so 45 times 10 was 450. Now we're going to go up to divide by 3, and we get 150. So we know this little skein here has 150 yards. Doing it both ways was pretty accurate. If you don't have the yarn information on hand, you can definitely get the information you need without it. I think it's enough here to, again, make a very good educated guess to figure out if you have enough yarn to finish your project or if you need to get more.